So you might have noticed the last couple episodes that Mark and I had some earbuds in. We were actually sharing them. We each had one. You may have also noticed that, was it last week's episode or 2 weeks? There was like a commercial in the ad that nobody was talking. Some people kind of walking through a field or something.
It was a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah. That was actually an advertisement for these earbuds. Pamu Slide earbuds. So if you guys want to give it a go, they're only $50. Go to fmr.fm/PAMU. That is fmr.fm/PAMU for your set. You guys can order them there. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Before we get into this week's episode, we just want to remind you all to like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell for YouTube on notifications when a new episode goes up.
Yeah, and also check out our website, funkymooserecords.ca. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram under Funky Moose Records, at Funky Moose Records, and on Twitter, funkymoose_ca. And with that...
Hi, I'm Leah with League of Wolves.
I'm Aspen.
Hi, I'm David.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Dylan, and you're listening to episode 34 of The Sit Down.
Thank you guys again.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, for joining us tonight. We're honored to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Right on. We just kind of came across you guys like through, friends of friends, word of mouth, I guess. So we started looking into you guys, and it's like, holy shit, these guys are from Saskatoon. So, it was as simple as just reaching out and getting that invite. So thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for having us, guys.
And the funny thing, you say Saskatoon, and you told me this a million times, but every time I hear their song "Queen and the Fool," I think of Regina.
Yeah, suppose, hey.
Yeah.
This is the dog Sam. Is it okay if she just kind of
Pokes her head in.
fumbles around
Yeah.
while you're doing this?
Hey, Sam. Sam.
Sammy, look. Sammy, get him. Sammy, get him.
Sick him.
Yeah, she's a really nice dog. Oh, look at it. She kind of begged me. Anyway, you guys.
So is it right that you haven't really been in one room since COVID started?
One time.
Yeah.
We a few months ago we met up and jammed through some tunes and stuff, but this is only the second time in probably 7 months that we've all been in the room together.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah, which is not normal for us.
It's the longest hiatus we've ever had, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
So thank you for being the catalyst to bring us back together here, guys.
Thank you, guys.
No, it was effortless. I'm serious.
Girls' theme music, bringing us together.
Did you guys jam out before? Or?
We're gonna we're gonna do it after this tonight. We actually just do some recording, I think. Well, try to record something.
Yeah,
Nice.
we kind of had some catching up to do, we found first. So we mostly, just been sitting around here chatting. So it's been nice to catch up and excited to get back to some recording here today.
So what have you been up to during these 7 months? Were you doing any music, or was it just, let's put a pin in this and...
Not really like together. I mean, we've been sort of talking about it, and I think all of us have been doing a bit of our own writing.
We're all doing side projects now, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Working on solo
records, singer-songwriter kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Aspen
So
and I have been working. This basement is kind of a studio, and we run Skull Creek Studios out of here. So we've had quite a few artists down here, but like social distancing style, like a couple at a time, recording and tracking. Yeah. But we've kind of been busy. But I think the other guys are kind of just waiting for us to get rolling again here. So that's kind of where we're at,
Yeah, I think it's been a good time for writing. Kind of took some time to do lots of that. So it is exciting to actually get back together and try to lay some stuff down. And like Aspen said, we did lay a couple demos down in the spring, and it'll be cool to revisit those as well. So.
Yeah, it's like, how do those go?
Yeah.
It was like a while. So
Yeah. So it's good to be back.
Cool.
Where are you guys at?
Butt fuck, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, we're in Bellevue, which is about an hour north of Saskatoon.
I was saying it's not a by PA or no, or is that?
Yeah, we're kind of between Saskatoon and Prince Albert.
Yeah, a little closer to PA.
I was born and raised in PA, so, but I was like, I've never really heard of that place, so I was exactly where it was.
Man, if I'm being honest, back in high school, Leah, I remember going to a house party at your house.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Way back in the day, man, and the whole night, like we didn't officially meet that night because you were playing your guitar in front of the speaker. Like you were 2 feet in front of the speaker all night, man. Or for however long I was there, for a couple hours, like you didn't leave that speaker.
That sounds like a party I would have for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
so that's my memory of you. Yeah.
That's crazy. And your name's Joel, right?
Yeah, Joel Gadet. I grew up in St. Louis.
Oh yeah.
Are you related to Gal?
Oh yeah.
Hey, sister. No, that's you grew up in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I had many of stragglers coming in. Not saying you're a straggler, but many people come in and out of that house and just,
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Meet everybody that actually went through that old place would be pretty tough. So, but I'm glad I was ripping the guitar, I guess. So,
yeah.
And this was in PA?
It was in Prince Albert. Yeah, I couldn't tell you that. Like, shit, I don't remember exactly where it was, but
it's 12:45 K Drive. Actually, no one lives there anymore. None of my family live there anymore. But it was originally my grandparents' place, and then my mom bought it, and we kind of grew up there through high school and stuff like that. And she was less than impressed with me after high school. Let's just say that. The carpet was perfect downstairs, though. It was just like the worst, almost like a vomit color. So it didn't matter what fucking got spilt on there or how many smokes got dropped. It was all just like blending right in. So It was a perfect little party basement that we had going. So lots of fun, pool table and everything. So yeah. A few beers down there for sure.
I think this basement slowly turned into it.
Yeah, this basement's
That's the same.
Yeah,
that's the same. Yeah,
it's in the running.
Yeah, it looks in pretty decent shape. You got some hardwood floor there.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a fake, like Brazilian style laminate, but it's fake. I think
sure,
pretty fake. Fake.
That means it's cheap to replace if you mess it up.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the thing too. So it's kind of just we've made it into a little vibe pad just for recording and just jamming ideas and just having some beers and whatever you need to do down here. So. And the neighbors haven't said a fucking thing since we moved in. And
Nice.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah, some of the jams go pretty late, so it's good to have a place like that. You can just go downstairs, get away, and work on stuff. So yeah,
we used to. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the old.
You gotta speak up a bit, buddy.
Are you guys comfortable talking about the old spot?
Yeah, sure. Lean in, Dave.
Well,
if you have to ask, we want to hear it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because Skull Creek Studios kind of was located in Piapot for about 4 or 5 years, which is southern Saskatchewan. It's off the number 1 highway between Swift Current and Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
So it's right down in the southwest Saskatchewan, and Aspen and Grieg's parents had bought, I don't know really what, but they moved into a school in a small town, an old abandoned school, and they converted it into their house. It was a guest house basically with the studio in there. So at one point, it's kind of sad to talk about because obviously they don't live there anymore because there was a legal issue with some of the RMs, and there was actually like a legal fight over it. Basically they got evicted. But I don't know why I'm bringing it up. It's kind of sad, but it sucks. It'd be really nice to still be there because it was a beautiful space, and this is kind of what we've been working with this spot for about a couple of years now, and it's working fine.
But a lot of good things came from working in there and recording in there. Like our whole acoustic EP we recorded in that school. Yeah. And we hosted some shows, like the Dead South played there once, and we had a lot of good times, good memories. But yeah, now we're relocated here at Leith's place, so and hopefully going to record another EP or something soon.
Yeah, like Pie Pot, you know, that was a dynamite little spot because you could just like, you know, it was 3.5 hours away from here, and whenever we'd have artists there, it's just somewhere to get away, and there's like no distractions that way. It's like, oh, let's go to the bar, let's go to a restaurant. It was like you're stuck there, you know, you're eating right there in the studio, you're drinking right there in the studio, and you're just living in the studio basically. And you know, it's productive to get stuff done, and I feel like you're kind of away from things, and you get there was such a good vibe out there. You can't really touch it. It was
that's what made me think of it, because you say the neighbors didn't say anything. Like out there,
Yeah.
there's no neighbors around at all.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
now that we're here, we also found a spot where the neighbors are cool with it.
Yeah,
Still
tougher to find in
jam.
the city. Yeah.
And yeah, like in the city, it's hard to find a place like this. So it's
Right.
good to have neighbors that don't give a shit about, you know, loud
The
jams
noise.
late into the night or whatever.
yeah. Rip Pie Pot school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably like overgrown with
I was just out
trees.
there actually. I drove past it and I was like,
Is it
I
like
wanna-
falling apart?
No, but they closed the gate and I was like, I want to drive in there, and I was like, I might get shot. So
I wonder if I bet you guys could get back in there. Like, let's say you're shooting your next video or something. Just, you know, like get a hold of the RM and just tell them who you guys are, and that's where you
Bridge has
started.
been burnt. Yeah, like I think that bridge has been burnt, but I mean there are a lot of small towns around Saskatchewan. There's enough around with like old abandoned buildings or schools that
Churches.
Right.
churches like
Yeah.
and like I know there's some people in Saskatoon that have taken like old churches and turned them into like kind of a space like that. And that was the idea with that. It just didn't work. I think it was a lot of small town politics bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It'd be maybe nice to maybe find a spot, but it would be obviously up to like Aspen and Leet. But for now, this is working just fine.
We're making do here.
And we have good internet connection here because we're in the city.
That's one
right.
thing.
We
So
did.
Yeah.
we can PUBG all night long.
Yeah.
We're into I'm into Call of Duty now. Do you guys play Call of Duty or no?
No, I don't.
No.
I've heard of it. Yeah, definitely.
So they released a new, fairly new, called Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and there's like a battle royale, much like PUBG. Am I totally boring you guys right now? Or no?
No,
Go.
no, man, it's good.
It's
It's
like
good.
it's just the funnest game, and you know, I think I have a
You
problem.
can
So,
you can get paid for playing those games though, can't you?
if you're on like Twitch,
There's a way to do it, man. Yeah, Twitch or something like that. You bet.
have like a ton of subscribers, and like lots of people follow you. You can start getting like sponsored and stuff, and you can actually.
Yeah.
I think so.
Me?
Totally. Yeah.
I swear and like curse and cuss and everything way too much. I don't think.
Maybe not kid friendly, but
No,
I don't think that matters. I really don't. So there's this guy that I follow he's a producer of a podcast that I watch, like YMH podcast, Your Mom's House. But anyways, yeah. So I follow him on Instagram, and I didn't know about Twitch until like a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Oh, follow me on Twitch, swipe up or whatever." So I did, just to check out, see what he's doing. And he was like playing poker or something, and you could sponsor him and like give him money to play. So but he wasn't like, he was smoking pot and drinking beers, and like, man, it was all good. So I don't think swearing matters at all.
sign me up then, I guess. I can freak out. I like, you know, scream, and then I like throw my controller and like, I'm like, what am I?
Rage quit.
But it's so fun and frustrating. Like, you know what I mean? Like video games are, you know, they're
Therapeutic.
They're like,
well, yeah.
like golf.
Well, you think
yeah.
they're therapeutic, and then
Yeah.
you start to get actually like kind of angry, and you're like, okay, I need a break. And then you always go back because it's so much fun. But
Did you mention golf? Because I'm like that with golf. The first
That's
few
why-
holes, it's like, oh, this is fun, and then hole 5 and on, it's like, fuck, why did I do
might as well start drinking.
this? yeah. Beer.
a lot of parallels with video games and golf, apparently. Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I just go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, like everybody, like I feel like everybody I meet loves golf, and they all golf, and I like.
I'm into golf now, man.
You're into golf.
Yeah, just
Okay.
this summer. Finally had time to do it, you know?
I feel like I'm
activity.
like too old, and it's like too expensive.
Oh,
I
it's
just
so
I don't think I have the patience to like really learn. But like all my buddies are like wicked
Wow.
golfers, and they're
We should go for a round.
in the summer. I'm like,
someday.
They're always gone golfing, and I'm just like,
Well, like when I go
Just wasting
golfing,
your time.
I don't take it seriously. I would just play like Texas Scramble. So whoever
Yeah.
shoots the best ball, which is it's never me.
you. Yeah.
Never me. Like, I'll go with some people that are good, and then it's like they'll hit it 100 yards past mine, and
Yeah.
we just go from there. And we don't even keep score. You just walk around and fucking shoot the ball as best you can.
shoot the
Hey
shit.
man, rent a cart and then you can drink and drive, dude.
Yeah, so you're always in the cart drinking beer.
And there's reasonable rate golf courses around here.
Yeah.
Is there like a limit that you can like drink and drive a golf cart? Like, is there some
No.
law? No, you can get.
Well, it depends on the golf course, I guess. I mean, if you're sloshed and they can tell, then
They might not let you. You sign a waiver when you rent the cart. So if there's any damage to the cart, like you're paying for it. So you could trash the shit out of that thing. And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to give them 10 grand for the cart or whatever, right?
That's a fun day. They've never taken your golf cart keys away from you and take them. You guys are done.
I think you just can
Wrap it up, boys.
Yeah. Can't take the
Get your clubs and get the hell out of here.
these are rented anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, like for me, like I used to golf like once a year at our buddy's golf tournament. It was the Zach Smith Invitational. He's NHL player with the Sens and with Chicago now, and he used to have this one tournament every summer in our hometown. And that was the only time I golf every year. And you'd just be, it's not really about the golf. Half the guys are naked by the ninth hole, swimming in the hazards and stuff. So it was like, I never really learned how to golf since, I took a 15-year hiatus since junior golf, and having this kind of free time to do it this summer, it was a lot of fun, but like Lee had said, God, it's expensive.
It
But
is.
It can be.
My
Yeah,
Facebook news feed is just golf ads now. It's so funny. I'm being targeted hard
Googled
with
it
a new
once.
set of irons right now. But yeah, Google it once, and there you go.
There's some I don't know who said it, but the quote is like, golf is a good walk ruined.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know
I've
who
heard
said
that before.
When was the last time we went golfing?
A couple summers ago.
Oh,
I
it's
think.
more than that.
That bad.
Yeah, it's been that long. Yeah, exactly.
This sucks because now that it's basically fall. Now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And I want to go now, and it's like they're probably closed.
You guys,
Go to a driving range, indoor driving range.
yeah, or mini golf.
Mini
Are
golf.
those even open now because of fucking COVID?
Fucking COVID.
Yeah, there's a golf dome here in Saskatoon.
Yeah, let's go slam.
I hear.
So, what's the podcast called again?
It's called the Sit Down. So there's actually another podcast called The Sit Down.
Oh, there's
out
probably
there.
like
There's
500
a few of them. When we came up with the idea, we were just, talking about what is it going to be. And it was just us sitting down with guests, like
Very
band
literal.
members, and stuff, just shooting the shit. Like
Actually, initially we didn't plan for guests. We were just gonna sit down and talk
just
about.
us sitting down, but we're pretty fucking boring. So it was like, man, we gotta liven this up a little bit.
Yeah, so we started inviting some bands.
Yeah.
And who was the first guest?
First one we had was Paris.
Oh, Paris Pick. Yeah,
Pick.
she reached out to us. She was like, "Hey, can I be on your podcast?" And we were like,
I think that's
Sure.
kind of where that idea came from, is like, yeah, we should, get band people on and talk about what they're doing, helping band members promote their music and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of evolved into that. We started it in March, right pre-COVID, and
Right.
then that was a fucking monkey wrench and everything, because then we had to figure out how to do it from separate locations. So we, doing it on Zoom, and it seemed, even to this day, we're 34 in, and it's like every single week, every episode we do is a little bit different from the one before.
That's
Like,
cool. That's
"Yeah."
good.
So, for example, these microphones
These are new.
new.
This is the first episode we do with the microphones, because the last few
Really?
episodes we've been having audio problems, and
So shout out to Audio Technica that hooked us up with these.
Oh yeah,
Are
you getting
Nice.
sponsored?
What
Pardon
was
me?
that?
What's that?
A sponsor? No free
Yeah.
ad.
Yeah.
Well, we're also a Audio Technica dealer, so we
Yeah.
sell Audio Technica turntables.
I
so
encourage
it kind
all the sponsors. Give me all the sponsors. I'll take them all, man.
if you want to give us something, we're open.
What do you guys do? Like for you guys have day jobs, obviously.
Yes.
COVID really screwed some things up, so it's okay.
We can talk about it, but we might have to edit it out after.
Oh, that's all. I just want. Oh, sorry.
He's a stripper on the weekends.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. St. Louis.
You
No,
bet.
my most of my time is spent as a web designer for an IT company in PA, and most of my time is spent on Funky Moose Records and selling records and
Oh,
accessories.
cool. That's kind of
And I do financial planning.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
There's some money in that. I think Aspen, didn't your dad
Yeah,
do that
my
for a while?
parents did that for
His
many
parents did
years.
that. The beverage
Nice.
parents did that for
Yeah.
quite some time, I think.
Yeah, many years.
Lucrative, I hear.
If you do it right.
That's just it.
Yeah,
Really don't.
that's where the planning comes in with the financial planning.
Yeah.
Always got to be a plan. I was gonna throw it back to the video game thing there real quick, and because I wanted to say how I'm not sure how old all of you guys are, but like when video games started, like it was all about playing them, and it seems like now society it's all about watching them. Hey, like we were talking about Twitch, like it's fucking crazy how people will pay to watch. Like I couldn't be bothered watching somebody else play a game.
It's such a
Like,
weird
give me
shift
the
in just everything, technology, and just the way, like teenagers coming up with so much technology at their fingertips. It's just a totally different time. I don't even know if I can,
Well, I kind of look at it because I've watched a few. Like Jack Black actually has a Twitch account or like a YouTube account now where he plays video games, and it's kind of like I don't know, maybe just like podcasts are where you can just sit and listen to people talk. It's like a conversation where you're just sitting in on other people talking, and which is, I mean, I love podcasts, and I kind of found that some of those Twitch streams are just kind of the same thing. Obviously, more just about video games and reactions and stuff. So I can kind of see the entertainment value in it. But yeah, it's like
That's a good point.
20 years ago, you never would have thought, like, who would want to watch someone sit and play Dr. Mario?
Right?
great game.
That's such a good game.
Burger Time.
I'm a big Formula One fan, so I know that the Formula One drivers have their sim set up and they race together when they're not on an actual track. They race together on these sim games, and then they stream it on Twitch too, and then people just watch them race.
And they probably make extra spending cash there too, right? People
I don't know.
throwing money at them for them to do it.
But those guys are loaded; they don't need to.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
But
just
they
saying.
could, yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I'm sure they're collecting from it.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did Leah go?
Let the dog out.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
tired of us. He's left.
So what? You guys aren't all from Saskatoon, right? Like you mentioned, you're from outside town. Which town is that again, you guys?
I looked it up.
Well, we all live in slightly different places.
Right.
I live in Swift Current actually, right now.
Yeah, three of us are from Maple Creek.
Yeah, we grew up in Maple Creek, Juice Aspen and I.
Yep. And then David is from Saskatoon, but he actually has relatives in Tompkins. So that's how we know each other. And Tompkins is just east of Maple Creek. And then Leah's from PA.
Right.
Yeah.
So another question I do want to ask too. So I was looking, like I was going through YouTube, watching videos and stuff, and just trying to, listen to some of the music. And I did notice that the band members have changed throughout the years a little bit, which isn't irregular, right?
Yeah. I mean, we just had a bass player that left the band, but other than that, it's basically been the same. Leah has been added to the band, but that was a few years back. But
right.
Those are the only real changes.
And we used to run as a 4-piece, and then we added this guy.
Hey, I'm back. Had to feed the dog. He's getting hungry, I guess.
So how did you find him, or did he find you, or how did that process go?
Yellow Pages.
He found us at the
Pool hall.
Yeah.
we were all actually really big Sheepdogs fans. And we also had some mutual friends. And Leah, as he does, ended up at a party at a place. Our band, we all used to live together.
Yeah.
So Leah just ended up there, as he does. And we just started jamming together. And then I think over time, we ended up like at the same parties at the same time or at the same gigs. And then we said, hey, why don't we just jam and maybe write some stuff? And then it just evolved over time. I think over a few years, it kind of happened where we kind of had some ideas. We recorded some demos, and we were like, hey, this could be a thing, right? And then started playing some shows together and recorded some songs together. And then it was kind of official after that.
Yeah, I think I came out to Pie Pot one weekend, and me and Aspen just had, a whole weekend session, and we cut a couple songs out and just kind of realized we were pretty good at working together and writing music together. So it just kind of felt natural to take the next step and just maybe try with the rest of the band. So that's kind of how it all started, I guess.
There's a song called Streets Made of Stone, or Streets of Stone. It might have been renamed for the EP. This acoustic EP we released about 8 months ago. That was the first song that me and Liat wrote together. So the first time we ever kind of went into the studio together to record something, that was the very first song that we kind of came up with. So
Nice.
Cool. So are you still with Sheepdogs or?
No, I haven't been for quite some time.
Okay.
So I own a bar downtown now, so it kind of like there's some conflict there, and I'm not going to get into it, but we ended up going our separate ways. And then as that was happening, I was kind of already starting to jam with these guys. So it just kind of, I let go of one branch, grabbed another type deal. So that's just kind of, it just kind of felt natural to just keep playing music, obviously. So, and
what's the name of the bar in the city?
That's called the Capital Music Club.
Oh,
Write that down.
Yeah, making a note.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a shirt.
We've been open for 6 years and change now. And many acts of all different sizes come through.
Wonderful place.
Yeah,
I follow the place on
nice.
the various socials. Yeah.
We built it from the ground up basically, and just, with my road experience and my connections and stuff like that, I started booking some really good acts right away, which as a new club, sometimes you don't get to do that right away. You got to kind of like slowly get into the music, in with the agent.
In the world. Yeah.
I think and everything. So I was already in the industry, so it helped a lot, me having that experience and those connections and bringing people through, and, but kept it rolling, haven't made $1 million, but, it's really, I think we've added quite a bit to the music scene here in Saskatoon. It's a good spot, and it's a great spot to catch live music. So almost tanked with the COVID thing, but we had some relief and some help and a GoFundMe thing, and kind of keeping it above water now, and just diversifying. Like, I think through all this, everyone's just trying to find different channels to make money and make ends meet, I guess, and just scrape by until these restrictions lift or there's a vaccine or something. It's not business as usual. It's very, you got to be innovative, and you got to change with everything here now. So anyway,
it's business, but very not usual.
Exactly. Yeah. But anyway, we're still, I think we're going to be okay. But, I know some venues went down and lots of other bars went down in town. So it's, a lot of other people had it not so good. So, and it's tricky, right? So you can't plan something like that, right? So, you can't plan for something like that. Like, who knew there was going to be a pandemic, right? So
you always got to have a plan, dude. No, just kidding.
Here's the financial planner. Cool.
No, that's awesome. I actually heard that a few years ago, that you had a bar, and I just never knew what it was, where it was, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Do you guys play, like, because it's your bar, Liat, how frequent do you guys like jam out there and play? Well,
it was kind of, at first I was like, I don't want to book myself in my own bar. It just felt weird. Like, it felt pretentious, or, I didn't.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'm like, why the hell not? Like, all my friends go there. I know everybody there. Like, let's just go put on a show with our buddies. Like, so we just started doing that. But we'll play like Amigos, or we'll play somewhere else in town. Like, we don't always play at the Capitol, but, for a while, like I said, I wasn't into booking us there, but now I'm just like, why not? I don't know. So I guess people be like, oh, he's booking there because he owns the bar and he can do this, throw them on the bill for this band and whatever. But
you're like, fuck yeah, I can. It's my bar.
I'm like, you know what I mean? It's hard enough as it is to make it in this industry, So
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys are ever in town, stop by for a beer. It's a pretty cool spot. So
Yeah, you should come through, and Lead will just be in front of the guitar, or just in front of the
Right, yeah, right in front of the speaker, just playing. I'll be like,
that's around my ankles.
I might have some flashbacks there. I don't know.
Funny.
No, that'd be sweet.
So now that you guys have have caught
He's
up a little
Dutch.
bit.
He's from Holland, you guys.
But I catched myself, so it's but so now that you caught up with each other a little bit and you're going to be jamming after we're done here, did you guys talk about, you know, future plans? You have albums in mind, gigs?
Yeah.
Well, you
tours?
said something about possibly recording, right?
just like a demo song tonight that we were like throwing around of like working on one song right now. But not, I don't know.
Yeah, we often compile demos.
Yeah.
Just because it's better to have a pool of songs to choose from. And also, of course, the label likes that if you got a bunch of songs to pick through, and they can kind of decide where you're going to kind of steer the ship. But yeah,
Right,
like a lot of stuff because of COVID too, we're planning on probably being a little more independent and recording our own stuff and going from there. But as far as the future, like we don't really know what's going to happen with COVID, right? So the best thing to do, I think right now, we can't tour. We can't really play shows even as a 5-piece. But one of the things we can do is keep working on writing, recording demos. We discussed it a little bit, but playing shows is maybe just two of us or three of us, just to make sure that there's still some kind of progress or growth, or, you know, kind of staying out there and staying relevant. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, Mark and I have been talking for a couple months now. Like, we're just itching for a fucking concert, man. Like, that's what I would do all the time. Like, that was my pastime, was hitting up concerts all the time. And I'm itching for it, man. It's been over a year since I hit it. Last concert I went to was Metallica, I think.
Not a bad one.
Metallica or Rob Zombie, whichever one was last there. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm dying for it. So
And then we were also planning, because this last summer was the 5th anniversary of my record store. So I figured, why not celebrate that with some sort of mini festival or something? So I was in the planning stages of that, and then all of a sudden this pandemic thing hit, and then June 1st came, and it was like, oh, it's pretty quiet.
Like arguably, the hardest hit industry is probably live entertainment. Like, because to get it going, you need a bunch of people crammed into a room, tight together. And then it would be, once we can have concerts again, like safely, I think then we'll know we're kind of out of the woods. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's personally going to be for probably another year at least. Still, I don't know. Obviously, no one knows, but
like I was saying before, I communicate with, you know, agents all over Canada and various in various stages of the industry and different bands and this and that, and like they're kind of saying like no really like established acts are going to be touring until like maybe this spring, probably summer, maybe even fall.
Yeah.
Like and as far as like arena concerts go, like 2022. Do you know what I mean? Come over that really.
that works. It's got to work.
Yeah, well, human trials are how long, right? So, like everyone says, they got one on their fingertips, but they got to run those trials, and it's got to be FDA approved and all that garbage.
But I think I read an interview, now that I think of it, with must have been you then. I think you said that like the Capitol is one of the first that closes down in a pandemic like this, and also the last one to open up again.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's, you know, we were lucky enough to kind of just keep it kind of going, just running it really lean, you know, pushing food out the door and booze out the door where we could. And our friends helped out. Like everyone kind of jumped on the bandwagon there and helped us out. So we're fortunate that we had such good support there. But yeah, it's been, with, like, I know venues that have totally just folded right in, like, you know, big venues, like some in Toronto and stuff like that. There's like spots I grew up cutting my teeth there, and they just can't do it. They can't, you know, they need that you need those like 7-8 grand nights where they have those bands on the weekends, and that, you know, carries them across for the month or whatever, right? So, but I'm hoping that, you know, restrictions lift at some point and gets better and better. But you look at Ontario, they seem to get more and more cases all the time here. So I don't follow it super closely, but I know it's definitely not over. So,
well, we were talking to Northern Royals 2 weeks ago, and they're from Winnipeg, and they said that that Manitoba is also what did they call it?
Code Orange.
Code Orange, which we still don't know exactly what it means, but it's
they were
not good.
basically on groups no bigger than 10 people again, like kind of when it all started. We're back.
What's it down again? It's degressing, man.
Yeah.
That sucks.
We were even talking about like streaming and stuff. Like, what do you guys? When COVID started, I think in a couple episodes we were talking about how tacky that was. Like, we didn't want people to, like, I was talking like, I don't want to watch bands online and all that shit. And man, I've done a 180 on that opinion. Like, I would love to see those groups getting together, and I'll pay a couple bucks, $20-$30 to watch them jam out on a computer screen. Do you know what I mean? I'll put it up on the TV for a night.
Yeah.
I don't know what are your guys' thoughts on that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the thing about that is, like, you have to have really good, like, sound equipment and recording equipment and gear, and really good internet, like fiber, because it's like, or else it's like choppy and the sound quality suffers. Like, you have to be kind of set up, and I don't, you know, and it's like,
It takes
a lot of money to set that kind of stuff, like, you know, a system like that up. Like,
it takes a lot of gear, and I've watched bands that are like quite big that, you know, if they came through, they would maybe play at like the Coors Event Center, like pretty big bands, and I've watched them try to do that, and even they can barely pull it off, and it's glitchy because, like, I mean, the technology's kind of there, but it's also not like ever 100%. And then they're all trying their best, and even then it's like, and it never sounds obviously as great. And it's weird because the song ends, you're like, fuck yeah, that was awesome, and then you just hear them like shuffling their feet, and there's a guy behind the camera. So it's obviously weird. Everything's weird, but
it's better than nothing, I think. And I'm glad that people are doing it, because you can actually watch. I watched an Arkells one. I watched like a Winter Sleep one. I've watched a few, and like, it's better than nothing. It's satisfying some of that need to watch live music, but it's not quite the same. And I know people have done drive-in shows. Comedians have started to do this, and like some artist, Brett Kissel, did like a nationwide tour, and they've turned out to be fairly profitable, but it's just, nothing is the same, right? Nothing is as good as packing a bunch of people in front of a stage, and that the energy that's there, that's live music, right? So hopefully sometime sooner than later that happens. Like, and the Capitol, like, I hope, like, I think they're going to survive, but it's a place where bands love to play because the bands are treated really well, and the community really supports the bar. So, you know, hopefully that's a place that people want to play, and hopefully soon, but we just don't know what's going to happen. So,
right. Yeah. It's fucking scary times, man.
Yeah.
Do a live show on Twitch.
Did you guys, while I was gone, did you discuss our last stream?
no.
We did try playing. I think this was when Zoom was kind of like, it was our first Zoom call ever as a band, and together we were all at different places, and
It was awkward.
we got asked to try to play a song.
Right.
So we tried to play our song "Never Be the Same Again." I just grabbed an acoustic and started singing, and I asked Juice and Aspen to sing harmonies on it from their own homes. And
harmonies are just on.
wow, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do not try that.
I knew that there would be like a half second delay,
Leg was
so I was like, I'm out. I'm not gonna do it. Dylan can sing it, but Juice tried singing.
Yeah,
He kept
it
trying
sounded
to sing
horrible.
it,
He would
yeah.
not stop, and he sounded like a drunk guy at a show that like,
doesn't know the lyrics.
kind of knows the lyrics,
Yeah.
but's mumbling along
Yeah.
and singing off the key because it's a harmonic. Oh, it was a disaster, and it was so great. It made the whole webinar.
With who was this Zoom call? You don't have to name names or anything, but was it like something like a CTV?
It was actually with Original 16.
Oh, okay.
16 sessions, and
Yeah.
it was really fun. It was a great.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
We were we had done some videos with them back in November, and we were just releasing them. And so this was the launch. We ended up having to do it virtually, and yeah, it was interesting. Live music on the internet is tricky. We were not set up for it. It's just not. Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah, like no, there's no way around it right now. It's just you need to get people together in a venue and play loud.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how fast your internet is.
No, it's not the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like at the Capitol, we're slowly bringing back these shows, like singer-songwriter type shows and acoustic shows, and you know, like bands with no more than like 3 or 4 people and social distancing on stage. But even then, you can't have a dance floor. You know what I mean? So everyone's like sitting at tables and like 6 to a table, and it's just to me, it's not the same. Like it's not. I get people's need to want to feel that urge or whatever, but it's just like it's not quite the same. But at least people are trying, I guess. But it doesn't feel right to me. So, but I mean, you got to try something
for sure. Even playing to that, right? Not even as the fan listening, but for the musician playing. Like if you're rocking out a killer tune and they're all just fucking sitting there staring at you, like that sucks.
Like there's no energy or emotion really through the room. Like it feels, and it feels like then there's like a huge spotlight on you too, right? So if you hit like a sour note or something, it's like amplified. Like it just, you know. So it's a little funny that way too. Like you feel like you're, you know, especially really under the gun kind of, I guess. So.
If there's a band playing like more high energy music, like when we play, it's high energy, right? We feed off the crowd. That's so much of what we do. So without a crowd right in front of you in the pit, it's just not right. It just doesn't feel the same.
Right.
So, yeah.
But hopefully sooner than later, it'll turn around.
Yeah. So going back to the live shows that you did do you have any good stories that you want to share? Like
stories. Some of these stories you would probably end up editing out. So,
that's why we want them.
I don't think we've had it like complete.
We've got some good. It's tough to just know where to.
Well, one time this way, touring, you get like 5 guys in the same band on the road across Canada. There's going to be some shit that goes down, right?
For sure.
And I don't like to kiss and tell, so I'm sure you can find out from other people. We're a rock and roll band, right? So
did you have something? Yeah,
we're not like holding out on you. We just like literally, I don't know. Do we have any?
Seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. Well, one time we played a show where we opened for the Glorious Sons and the Trues. And we thought, like, we love these bands, right? So we wanted to get to know these guys. And we were offered, they said, like, hey, come join us in the green room after you guys play and before we go up. So me and Dylan went down, and this was at O'Brien's in Saskatoon here. Coors, right? Coors Event Center. So we come into the green room, and it's just packed with people. It's a small little room, but there was probably 20 people in there. And they offered us some drinks, and they drank us completely under the table. And this was before they even played their set. And Jameson, I was just, it was Jameson, mostly Jameson. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. And both me and Dylan kind of tapped out. I think Dylan ended up puking in a garbage can or something. And they just sauntered onto the stage like nothing had happened. Yeah. But that's one good story from playing shows. But like, that one's pretty PG, I guess. There's some others that we can't really talk about, but yeah.
Glorious Sons was going to be a good deal, man.
Yeah,
they're a real rock and roll band.
For sure.
They like to have fun, and they and they can play cut. They can play on stage like that, and that's your inhibitions kind of go away, and you kind of get you put on a better show sometimes. Sometimes you go too far. Yeah, play as well, but you know what I mean. I think you get a little more edge happening when you get a couple drinks in you and loosening up. So, but the Glorious Sons, they like to get loose. Fucking good guys. They're all good guys, good band.
For sure.
Be nice to see those.
We should invite them on a show here.
Yeah, invite them on. Absolutely. I'm sure they have a pretty busy PR schedule, but
or maybe not now.
Well, if you don't ask, you don't get an answer. So.
Yeah. We'll send them that clip and we'll see what they say.
They know me kind of decently. Yeah, they know me.
I wanted to ask, you guys were talking about like banking songs for when you record, right? Because like that way the label can kind of direct it, I guess, if you will. Are you guys? Are you guys with a label right now, and who is it?
Yeah, we're currently got like a P&D deal with Warner Records, and then we're on with Inside Pocket is kind of like our management and everything like that. So they're out of Toronto, and Warner's across Canada, obviously. So
right,
Warner's a good label. But yeah, like I don't know, the people I've been talking to in Toronto, like they've had to axe so many jobs. You know what I mean? They've just and like a lot of these like other smaller labels are like buying out other labels and taking their rosters, and like people are moving all over the place. People are just getting cut out. Like it's as tough for them, like booking agents or labels, as it is for musicians right now too. So everyone's got to remember that, I guess, as well.
Yeah, it's from the other end too, from my end, you know, ordering from Warner and Sony and Universal.
It's probably a little more like,
I think Universal right now is still all working from home. Everybody's working from home except the guys in the warehouse.
Right.
Yeah. I think they do like, there's like shifts going on where someone can go into the office one day or a couple of people, and then they take the day off and other people could come in or something like that. Right. But I think for the majority of it, like a lot of people are just doing lots of stuff from home. So I don't know how that would be. I don't know if I could work from home very well. Like, seems like there's so many distractions, like Call of Duty,
golf,
the food cupboard. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't know how much I'd get done. Like, I'm more of a hands-on guy, I guess. But
I've worked from home. I work from home. It's definitely, you have to be disciplined, and you kind of have to, you know, have that mentality. Like, okay, I get up, I start work at 8, and I'm done at 5. In between there, no Call of Duty.
Got some guidelines,
willpower.
Just porno.
Well, yeah, but that's always, you can always do that.
So do you guys put anything else on the TV back there? Like, what do you guys? Or is it always the camera?
So here's a little story. Is when we started, we didn't have the TV. I guess when we started with the TV, when we would make reference to music or videos and stuff, we would throw it up on the screen, right? I'm not sure what episode it was. Where, you remember that video, that song "Call on Me"?
Oh yeah.
I forget who the hell sings it.
Eric
and
Pritz.
they're like doing the aerobics and everything. Yeah. Man, that's probably one of my favorite episodes of this podcast. But we play that video in the background, right? So we would do things like that. But there's been a couple times where we get flagged on YouTube from playing like other people's music and stuff like that, showing their videos.
The first one was Kanye West. Kanye had a new song out or whatever, and we played it on.
I don't even think we had the audio. We were just playing the video, and we were talking about it, and we got flagged for that too. So it's been kind of a. I think we're gonna get rid of this screen eventually.
Yeah.
Canadian flag.
What's that?
Canadian flag it is then.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we're gonna be moving our setup soon. Maybe next week. Maybe the week after.
So the background's gonna be a little different. Yeah, but
speaking of Canada, we were watching a video of John Cruchin where he gets a pie in the face. Have you guys ever seen the video?
No, I'm not Canadian, so
I vaguely remember that. Did you see the one where he like chokes that fan or something?
We were talking about We were trying to find it, but we couldn't find the video.
Oh, it's out there.
It's great.
We should try and find it and throw it in.
Yeah, bring it up.
No, we'll get flagged, and we can't.
For what?
I don't know.
Showing crits, yeah. Here, wait. I'll look it up. You guys keep talking here.
Oh, he's got to look at that guy.
It says draw it up, change it all the time.
I don't even know how to spell crits, yeah.
It's like it sounds.
Easy.
Right? Yeah, with a
Mark, on the drive up here, Juice and I were driving together. We were talking about one of our favorite card games called Dutch Blitz. Is that actually a popular game? Is it really Dutch?
Maybe. But actually, there's a card game and it's called. What the?
We have
Where did
clogs.
those come from?
Oh, these are always
We
here.
never leave home without
Those
them.
I actually got those like in Holland.
There you go.
Like not at some like mom and pop store. I think I got them at like a gas station.
Oh,
But they
Yeah.
they are
You can
from
buy 'em
Holland.
anywhere.
Wood shoes from Holland. Like I think they're like 45 euros.
Oh yeah, they're expensive, but you can walk on them forever.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I guess like if it's the right size, and then the more you sweat, it kind of the wood starts to like actually like mold to your
To your
fit,
feet.
your foot better. They
Yeah.
kind of like it takes a little time, and they kind of like
You get it closer.
you gotta like work them in.
they're
Yes.
quite nice.
And back in the day, when you bought those and they were uncomfortable, you would just go back and then they file out wherever it hurts.
I think they're uncomfortable as hell. And they're supposed to be my size,
I
like,
like these.
but I'm kind of considering like hiding them because everyone that comes over here, they get drunk and then like put them on. They're fucking like
Stomp around the house.
tapping all over my floor down here and like wrecking shit and like stumbling around them. So I'm
Well, we have a pair exactly like that,
Yeah.
but we just drilled holes in the soles and we have them on the wall.
okay. Yeah, that's
Make
probably
them
what I
decorative.
should do.
Yeah.
Good call.
And we have them in the front of the house and we fill them with flowers. Well, my wife does. I don't care, but you know.
That goes usually with flowers. Yeah.
But yeah, so good to get back to the card game. I don't know,
You're not familiar with that game.
but there's also a game called Dutch.
Oven.
What's it called?
Dutch oven?
That's also not a thing.
Oh, I can't find it, you guys.
And then there's the sidetrack, the Pennsylvania Dutch. That's apparently like a wagon behind a horse.
Okay.
And a style of that is a Pennsylvania Dutch.
Copenhagen type
But
deal.
that's because Dutch people came to Pennsylvania and started building those things. So they're not really Dutch, but they're
Right.
made by Dutch people or something.
Right.
I don't know.
All right, let's get into the 30s.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's go back some more.
What was
You
that?
find it yet?
No, I found a bunch of him like just pushing people out of the way and stuff, but I can't find the one of him like grabbing that person by the throat.
Oh,
But I
there's
know it's out there. I remember seeing it.
it on there somewhere. I've only heard about it, but we watched a Nardwar interview with Kretchen today too. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if you
kind
guys are Nardwar fans.
of wild.
He's got like I've watched a few because he is always asking questions that they're not expecting, right? Like he'll do a deep dive for sure.
People uncomfortable.
It's also
And it's
shocking
great. I
people
think it's
with
great.
like, how much he knows, right?
He also like it's kind of weird when you watch some of his interviews. Like if he really likes the artist, like he brings them like gifts and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I saw he had Snoop Dogg on once. And he brought him like this like cool old vinyl record and like this and that. But when he was like interviewing Christian, he was like, you know, he's kind of taking a piss. You know, like he's kind of like getting under his skin a bit. Like
He's like a human encyclopedia of music.
yeah,
And actually, both me and Liat have tweeted Nardwar and got responses. So
yeah.
we're pretty proud of that.
Shout out to Nardwar.
I met him down in Austin, Texas one time. I was down there for South by Southwest. And I just looked across the street and he was just there like interviewing somebody. And I was like, I got to go say hi. So I just, hey, Nardwar. And like, I obviously someone said, do or whatever. Right. So, but I ran into him. It was kind of funny. But I think he's great. Like, I'm not sure how much he still does now, but you know, all the stuff that used to be on Much Music and everything like that. For those kids out there that don't know what Much Music is, it's this channel that used to play music videos. Anyway,
Crazy concept.
on cable. But
On what?
yeah, exactly.
Like
What
this
the
thing?
fuck is that? I don't get it.
Get that on Netflix?
Yeah. Anyway, but all this stuff on, you know, those old Much Music ones, all those interviews were just, I thought they were fantastic. So
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like a Canadian icon in a way.
Absolutely.
Totally is.
He definitely.
And he was in a band called The Evaporators for like, you know, quite some time too, and like toured all over Canada and some of the States, I believe.
For
And,
real? I didn't
yeah,
know that.
they're kind of like a post-punk kind of band style, I guess. Like I don't know, I don't have their discography or anything, but they're kind of cool, and like that's kind of how he started into this whole thing. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
He's kind of had like a second renaissance almost with like a lot of young rappers these days. Like
That's true. Yeah.
he's become really well known in like the like up and coming rappers love him because they all watch his videos, and they're all like, every time he interviews them, they're so excited to talk to him. And of course, he'll bring these questions, and they're like, "How the fuck do you know that?"
Right.
I know the name of my second grade teacher.
Yeah. Like he's
It's amazing.
he does his homework.
Impressive.
No doubt. Hey, even another one. This guy's American though. Is what's his name? Sean, somebody or other from Hot Ones. You guys ever watch Hot Ones interviews?
Oh yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, same kind of thing.
Great show.
Yeah.
But it's not just him, right? Like it's the crew. They all kind of like do a deep dive, right?
I just want to try like their hot sauce. Like they have
Me
the Hot
too.
One sauce. Like and like everybody that tries it on the show. Is it the Last Dab? Is that the one they always use?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
so that's their hot sauce. And like everyone that tries it at the end, it's like, it seems like it's not so bad. And they all love it. They're like, oh, there's some really good flavors there. Like
I think once they hit that bomb, like number 10, I think they're all in shock. Like they're all fucked after that, right?
Yeah, that's what I have. I've got a bottle that my brother bought it for me as a Christmas or birthday gift or something like a couple years ago. I still have it because you can only use a little bit at a time.
Lifetime.
Like I think
bottle.
I brought it with us on a tour one time, and I like
It's the
forgot I
worst.
had it. And on the last couple of days, I was like, oh yeah. So I think we all took a little bit, and it was. That's the one where that's the one in those videos where they all lose their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody says there's no good taste. It's just hot.
It's gnarly.
Pain.
We were all in Kyle, Saskatchewan at a little tiny. You always know the Chinese restaurants in the small towns. You got to hit them because they're just awesome. Especially if there's only one. So, what is it called? Heidi's. So we're all in there, and Dave whips this bottle out, and so we all pointing little dabs on our plates and stuff. And Grieg actually can hold his hot food pretty well, so he was dabbling a little more than the most or the rest of us, but it was freaking hot, like a little tiny, just a little smear on your fork, and you're freaking there's like steam coming out of your ears almost. So
most of us took like the tiniest little dab. I think Juice actually had like more of a teaspoon probably, and it was crazy. Like I was crying and like coughing, and I was like, I'm dying. I think I'm dying. But he held his own. Like,
then on the other end of it, when later on that
yeah, exactly. You're like, we're almost
like I can't believe I did that. I'm not doing that again. It's hot fire.
it is.
Coming on the other end there.
It doesn't taste good at all. Like, don't ever buy it unless it's a dare or something. Do it, but otherwise, don't do it.
That's freaking hilarious.
Is
I
Sean,
like
Sean
that show.
Evans?
Is that what it is?
I
Sean?
think
That
so.
sounds about
Sean
right.
Evans.
That sounds right.
yeah.
But like, has anybody not made it on not gone all the way through?
There's a few. Yeah.
At this, I think season 1, there's a couple people who like pussy out.
I think
Like relatively quick too.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
I've never seen an episode where someone taps out.
Did Weird Al finish?
I don't know.
Yeah, Kevin
I think
Hart.
he might.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart what?
Kevin Hart was like high. He was like he's like lunching, like he's out of it. And I don't think he finished. I think he opted out of the rest of it.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst if you're like the only guy that didn't go through the wing challenge.
Right?
So if I
Oh
could-
man, you'd get lit up on social media.
Are on there. It's only a matter of time, seriously. Because it
Yeah.
would be like two minds meeting.
I feel like I could go on there. Like Juice, you could definitely go
Juice
on there.
could do it.
I need the milk though. You need that milk.
Yeah.
Like that's a lifesaver.
Have you guys seen what he's doing? Because he's obviously COVID and everything, so they're doing it from home.
Yeah.
I've seen a few Zoom ones.
And the guess the bottles. So I think
Oh,
Eric Andre did it again.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the second time he'd done it. And then like Drew Barrymore did it, but she set up like the black background so it looked like she was on the same set as him. It was awesome. She did a good job. But yeah,
I watched the one with Jessica Alba.
of course.
Oh yeah.
That was last week, right?
I didn't care
Or
much
Alba.
about the bottles.
My favorite ones are the I don't know. I like the comedian ones, right? Like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr. When those guys are on that kind of thing, I don't know. They crack me up.
I like how like the guests actually start getting like mad at like the host. Like they're like, like you did this to me. It's like
Why are you not crying?
he's eating the same ones and he's taking like more bites. Like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, straight face too, right?
The host, it's like it's not his fault. You agreed to do this. Now you can't take it. I don't know.
I think Coolio ended up passed out in the green room for like an hour or 2 hours after they recorded.
How many dreads?
He-
You have now, like one dread, 1.5 dreads. One
1.5.
sticking straight up, just slightly to the left.
How did he do that? Did he put like wire in his dread and then just like point it?
Wire and honey. I don't know.
Never know.
We'll never know.
Julio, man, that's a flashback.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I was well, I'm just really going off topic here, but I heard that. Remember that old song, that Skilo song?
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit taller.
That
Oh,
song,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was on like CBC or something. I can't remember what I was listening to, but they were talking about how he was in this label at that time, and for some those deals back then were just completely whack. Like they would take like 90% of your shit.
Mhm.
Like it was bad. Anyway, that whole song, like he had a whole record and he had a contract with this label, and it was totally just one-sided, like the label's way. And then that song hit and it was freaking massive, and he didn't get like a freaking dime for any of that.
Shit.
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's so shitty when you actually do
Fuck.
break.
It's sad.
You break and then you have this huge hit and you don't even recover any money from it, and you got to go back to freaking swinging a hammer or something. Like that's just seems so
And
wrong.
then you have to, but not only that, but then you got to play that song for everybody all the time. So you're just a fucking puppet. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
basically. And that's just like, fuck, now I'm putting more money in the label's pocket here. Cha-ching. Fucking here, dropping in there, and
yeah.
he's getting more pissed off and more pissed off.
He's just passing a hat around.
I'm waiting for his second coming here. That was a dope song. You know what I mean? It's a dope song. It's too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
we were talking about eventually maybe starting a label, but the more I talk about with bands and about record labels, the more I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because and especially now that it's becoming easier for bands to do what a label does themselves.
You're right. Just for the band, to
It just
take
gets
control of
easier.
it, right?
Yeah, especially with like the way computers and technology and everyone can shoot. You shoot a video on your iPhone, right? So
Yeah.
you know, it's more geared towards a do-yourself kind of, system off with bands, which is good because they don't need that support all the time from the other end. Like, back in, well, since music was a thing and record, labels were a thing. Like they've been leaning, like they've always had the power. It seems like they hold it, right? And the connections, they make it happen for you. Distribution, all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously people are figuring out a way to do it on their own, and they were pissed off about it. They should be pissed off about it because I don't believe that every label's pro artist. Like I think that they're kind of in it to make
It's a business.
it's a business at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there are some good labels out there. There are some like nice indie labels that are
Grassroots.
they treat their artists really well, and it's fair. And
Skull Creek.
Skull Creek
There you
Studios. Fair shake. Get two of the best producers in Canada. Bunch of tracks.
There you go.
Mix it up. Send you out the door with a smile on your face. It's on record.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I mean, so now I'm leaning more towards, instead of putting a label on it as a record label, maybe something like, I don't know, artist assist or something, like wherever a band is lacking, we could hop in. Like, for
like a
example,
sponsor?
if well, not so much sponsor, but maybe if a band sucks at marketing, then we can do the marketing for them for a fee, something like that. So that's,
there are
I don't
weak
know.
areas you might be able to help out with. Like not everyone's like technically inclined and with
that's right.
and social media and all that kind of stuff. So I think especially when a band starts picking up steam, like I think it's hard for them to just like do everything all the time because you're like on the road and you're writing and you're playing, and like you should just be worried about like getting to the gig, playing a really good show, and then you know what I mean. Like
That's right. Yeah.
so,
I think that's a huge thing for so many businesses now, the social media side of thing, and having to constantly be on that and how to do it.
but nowadays
It's a full-time job for so many people, and then bands are expected to learn how to do it. So
having said all that, I think nowadays you gotta get to a certain point yourselves before anyone can take their reins, right? So
And I like, my day job is digital marketing, so I do a lot of that, but I still believe that social social media in itself has to be done by the band themselves, because
You can always tell when
the whole social aspect of it is, people want to see the behind the scenes. People want to
Yeah.
see the personal side, and you can hire a company for that. But I mean, that company is not going to know what you guys are up to when, you're not on the road.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell when it's not that it's fake, but when somebody else is in control of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of almost walk the line. Like sometimes I don't want to follow a band. I just don't like there is that thing now, because everybody shares so much, and I think part of like music and rock music especially, like there's always a bit of mystery. There's always a bit of mystery about the bands. Like you didn't know like where they were going to be or really who they were. They were just sort of these, I don't know, like rock gods that you were like, it's like don't meet your heroes almost
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. There's a mystery.
Yeah.
So there is kind of a shitty aspect, because when you do follow some people, you're like, oh man, they don't seem like they're actually that sweet.
Yeah. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then you follow some
Talk
people
about
and
their political views or some shit like that, right?
something where like, but then you find someone that you kind of knew who they were, and all of a sudden they turn out to be like the funniest people, like actually on Instagram. Like, I don't know, John Mayers turns out to be actually pretty fucking hilarious. And like actually pretty, I don't know, I kind of don't like his music, but
He's like doing shit with Dave Chappelle right now, isn't he?
yeah, he is. He's
Yeah.
playing like Dave Chappelle is doing stand-up comedy,
Oh,
and
really?
then like John Mayers
Really?
is playing guitar in the background. They're like
Wow.
on stage together.
Yeah. Like Chappelle will say something about like dropping I
Yeah.
don't know, he'll drop a box over there and then Mayer will make the sound of a box dropping with his guitar and shit. Yeah, like
That's clever. I like it. Wow.
But yeah, it could be the other way around too, right? You find someone on Instagram and this guy looks good. This seems like a good band, and then you hear the music and it's like, oh, well, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. Well, you guys know that Eddie Van Halen passed away the other day or whatever, right?
Yep.
right.
Yep.
But I saw this like clip of him, like when you were talking about John Mayer, like, kind of ad-libbing as Dave Chappelle's doing something, like opening a door or something, and he makes that sound on his guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
Video where like Eddie's like, so you want to hear my elephant sound? And he's like with his guitar, and he like just cranks it. He's got the whammy where it's like, whoa! Like, and he does like a horse, you know what I mean? And he does like a cat.
Awesome.
And I think that's kind of cool. Like,
And
like,
that was just from like some guy backstage in the 80s filming it with probably this huge
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And then like that video doesn't surface till like 20 years later. Because like there's probably so many like backstage footage of
I
like
bet
all
there's
these,
some they probably wish they
bands.
never recorded.
yeah. And like and
Right.
now it's like everywhere. And you gotta have all these like PR people, I guess, with it too.
Well, David Lee Roth invented the backstage pass. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Is that true?
That's what I've heard.
I
Like
certainly believe that.
he had a hand in inventing the backstage pass. So like when it first started, he would like send his handler out and be like, I like that girl, like that girl who had like I'd sure like her in the green room after or whatever. And he would go out and then they had these laminated cards, and if you had the laminated card, you could get backstage after. And it was a way to like just get women from the audience into the back room, right? So he did have a hand. Diamond Dave had a hand in inventing the backstage pass.
Just makes me think
I didn't ever knew that.
Yeah, Wayne World Bodge for sure.
girlfriends are back there.
A lot of guys' girlfriends are in there. What do you guys think is better, Wayne's World 1 or Wayne's World 2?
Oh man, they each hold their own, but I
I'm
maybe
gonna go with the
Wayne's
first one.
World 2, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. I think I was a little older when it came out, and that's why it sticks with me a little bit more.
I can see
I was
that.
already old, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, there's a car in Saskatoon that's like the Girth Mobile.
Yeah.
I
Murph-
followed it the other day on like Spadina.
Call it the Girth Mobile?
I think is that what it was
No,
like?
it's Murph Mobile.
Mirth.
Yeah,
And
Murph,
that's what the license plate is on the car too.
Murph Mobile. I'm pretty sure, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Murph?
Mirth or Mirth?
It's not Girth Mobile. Okay.
girth.
So many times.
But yeah, there's one in Saskatoon.
Is it really? Does it have the licorice dispenser?
I didn't see the inside, but I followed it, and like it's the same car, the same paint job, and then the license plate.
Didn't we lift
If you gotta spew into this cup.
we lifted a car up one time that was basically the Mercmobile.
That might have been the same one.
It could be the same car, honestly. It was right out front of Lydia's. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Lydia's pub back in the day.
That was like 2011.
It was a long time ago.
That was before my time.
We lifted it up and put it on the sidewalk
We
for
did.
some reason.
Yeah, a group of us picked up this car
It was
and
just
put it on the
specific-
sidewalk just as a joke. It was so
I've done that.
Couldn't help
I've
it.
done that. Because in Europe,
On a Saturday just for fun.
Slow Tuesday.
well, it's in Europe, all the cars are like half the size of the cars here. So you saying that it's Not-
doable.
not uncommon.
You're from, where are you from?
Holland.
You are from Holland.
Yeah.
That's wild. I spent a little time over there touring and stuff like that. I noticed like about Dutch people, they're all like really tall and like really bald. You know what I mean? Like you're an
pretty fucking
exception, obviously, but
How tall are you?
I'm just over 6'4", but that's
Yeah.
And-
like, what is going on over there? Like
And
how
he's like 100 pounds.
what?
they're all just super like lean, like just lean little sticks, and then they just have like, a crowning baldness.
I have all my hair. No,
It's great. I mean,
no, but it's the Dutch people are actually on average the tallest in the world.
but then I also kind of was like, yeah, like then they're all with these like beautiful women. I'm like, I'm gonna clean up over here. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, I'm better looking than a lot. Like it's 90% of these guys. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't clean up.
So where did you play in Holland? Do you remember?
And like, I'm trying to remember. Is there a place called like Paradiso or something like that? Or
Paradiso? Yeah.
Yeah, I played there.
Oh,
I played
sweet.
there, and then that's the one I can remember. But there was definitely some other spots. And
Did you play the Roxy? The Roxy in Amsterdam?
you know, I can't remember for sure, but I know I did a couple of gigs there. Like
Yeah.
over the time, like we were over there a few times, different times in Europe and stuff like that, and around
Did you
the
take the train? Well, actually, you always have to come out of Centraal Station.
like
So,
the Ainsley, you mean like the channel?
no. Coming into Amsterdam,
Yeah.
you always have to go to the central train and airport station. Like,
So we had a driver, we had like a Sprinter van, you know what I mean? By the way, those things are fucking uncomfortable, man. Like
they are shitty. Yes.
crazy. Like I was like, did someone purposely like put no padding like right under my asshole? Like it felt like I was just getting like fisted the whole fucking time in this fucking van. I was like doing shots of Jameson just to fucking,
Yeah.
take it off my mind. Yeah, just to take it off my mind. But like
Usually-
sometimes you're traveling 6, 7, 8 hours like in those Sprinter vans, and they're just they like the one bench faces they face each other. So you're like looking at each other too, and you're
That's
not
not
getting
awkward.
any fucking Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi in the van sucks shit. So you're just looking at each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we had a driver, so he would drive. We just took a Sprinter van all over Europe, and then
Sounds great.
'Cause it's usually when when people ask me, like, when I go to Amsterdam, where do I go? It's usually, well, you go straight for weed, left for the red light district, or left red light district, and right if you want to,
I would have been about like probably like 29, 28. I think it was there when I was 28 and 29. So, we were young guys, and I never we would definitely walk down the whole red light district thing, and like, man, there's some like gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous women, and like they're just like, come in here, I'll suck your dick.
Yeah.
Money, but and I saw all these guys going in, coming out, and just like, but I just felt like I guess at that stage of my life, I didn't feel like I needed to pay for that. And I also felt a little dirty, maybe. I felt like a little. Now, if I want to,
I'll pay for it now.
Times have changed.
times have changed. I'm a little older. I have a little more money. But I remember Amsterdam being just like a really so many people like use bikes over there and that kind of transportation, and like so many like mom and pop shops, and not as like commercial, and like consumerism's not like super huge over there like it is over you know, in America and Canada. And
Yep.
and the one thing I really noticed was also like you go into a hotel and like they're just like tiny, like little boxes, like, but it's like, and then you like stay in a place like a Holiday Inn over here in Canada, and it's like you're just like fucking throwing footballs around in there. It's like, why do we need this much space in a room? You know what I mean? So it's like we're kind of like spoiled in a way. When I came back, I kind of had a different outlook on like, you know, what's the word? Minimalization. Does that sound right? Minimalism. So I had a different take on it. I was like, yeah, why the frick do we need so much freaking space? Like these guys, you know, they're making the most out of less, right? So.
And that's because we have to, because Holland, the country, is 11 times smaller than Saskatchewan, and there's 17 million people in there.
That's insane.
You got to build up.
They have to go up.
Stacking on
And
each other.
that's why we're so tall, because we can't go up.
There you go. That's one theory.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Incredible.
beautiful country over there, and nice, like awesome spot. Yeah.
I don't want to go back to live there. I'll visit, but I'm okay here.
You like Canada?
Yep.
You do well.
Straight from Holland to Bellevue. Where are you guys at?
Bellevue,
no
yeah.
doubt, eh?
So
Butt fuck Saskatchewan.
Buttfuck Saskatchewan, yeah. No, but my wife is a farm girl from just out of town here, so
Okay.
we met online, and then I ended up.
Oh, you met online.
Very cool.
Crazy.
Yep.
Different times, eh?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, this was 20 years ago already, so.
Oh yeah. Cool. Right on. Well, what should we do?
Normally we ask a band if there's anything to plug, but you guys probably don't have anything to plug yet.
we got some merch and stuff. If people are looking to buy merch, they can contact us through our socials. And we got
That's
some,
true. Yeah.
Sweaters and some
Really
shirts.
nice sweaters.
We don't have a new release of any songs or an album, but that's always helpful. We don't have Patreon or anything like that, and we can't play any shows, so that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we're good. So
Where-
you guys have an open invitation here. If there's any time you guys want to like get some news out on any kind of shit, like hit us up. We'll be in touch with you guys too. Like I said, open invitation. Anytime you guys can use this platform for anything
Great.
you want to get.
Yeah, and let people know where we can find you online. Like, what's the website, social media? Where can we find you?
Yeah.
Facebook or Instagram are probably the best, but just look up League of Wolves. We're there. On Twitter, it's League of Wolves with a Z at the end, but everything else is just League of Wolves.
Yeah, I noticed that today because I wanted to tag you in, and I was like League of Wolves, and that went to a YouTube channel. I was like, this is
Someone
not what
else
we're having
must
tonight.
be taking the one with the S.
Yeah.
before.
So who's in control of the social media?
We all
Like-
kind of contribute a little bit, but it's mostly me and Dylan that do a lot of it.
Okay. So I was talking to you two guys there the last couple of weeks then?
I was Dylan.
Yeah, you've been talking to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Right on.
Cool.
Awesome, guys. Okay. Peace out.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Thanks
Yep.
for
Guys, thanks for that.
cheers.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba